Welcome to the show, everyone. I am one of your hosts, Miles. This is my co-host, Jarrell, and this is another episode of Because of Fergie. Today, we have a very special guest that is near and dear to all of our hearts, my mom, Jaki. Say hello.
Hey, what's happening?
She came on the show today to give us a little presentation. I don't know if it's a presentation or
It's a workshop.
A workshop.
Okay.
Financial literacy workshop. I know Jarrell had brought some questions, prepared some questions to ask because he was interested in this, and we had a couple other people that was interested in this. So I hope they pull up. Jarrell, how was your week?
Oh man. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Jackie, for coming to the show. Just want to let you know I appreciate you. I'm so excited for this because I don't like being broke, and I want to learn how to be better with money. So I can't wait. But to answer
anybody like being broke.
I hate it. But to answer your question, I'm doing okay. There's a question mark at the end. I'm coming to terms with the fact that there are things that are fully Jarrell, and there are things that are 100% not Jarrell. And the state fair is 1,000% not Jarrell at this point in my life. I don't know if it ever will be again, but I found out that I'm not into it. Now, before I say any more...
Wait. How did that become your opening statement and you know I work at the state fair?
Here's the thing. I went and I thought it was going to be... I thought it was going to be different this time. But it's not. It never is. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means that it's not for me at this point in my life anymore, and I accept that. The hot sun, not a fan of it.
Go in the evening.
See, I would think that, but like it's $15 to get in. So if I go at night when the sun is down,
ticket at Cub Food, get a discount ticket if you buy it before the fair. It only costs you $10.
Yeah, it was. We did. We got ours was 15. It was 18 at the door. Ours was 15.
Oh, okay.
And somebody got it for me because they wanted me to come as their birthday gift. Shout out to Melina, friend of the podcast. Happy belated birthday. And thanks for inviting me. You know, I appreciate the gesture of it. I'm sorry that it was hot. And I'm sorry that I'm not a fan of walking a bunch of places aimlessly. It's not my thing.
It doesn't have to be aimless. You have an interest in something, you find something at the state fair that you're interested in.
I had an interest in sitting in the air conditioning and playing Armored Core, and that wasn't at the state fair. So
your friends wanted you outside with them having fun.
I did I think I enjoyed the camaraderie of it. Like hanging out with my friends is always number one. Like I love doing that. I love being around them. And if we would have went anywhere else that didn't require hot sun or walking a lot, I would have been gung ho. I was like, hey, let's do it. But yeah, at this point in my life, state fair, not a fan of it. The food's cool. The food is not good enough to make me go in the hot sun. And I'm not a fan of it.
Go at night. Keep mentioning hot sun. Go in the evening.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it's like $10 to $15 to get in, right? The sun goes down at usually like 6, 7 o'clock. The fair closes at 10? So that's $10 for 3 hours. The math don't add up on that. I just don't.
It's not. It's not a money thing. It's it's not a money thing. Okay, it costs $15. People like me got to get paid to run the damn thing. Okay, so it costs $15. It's not about the money. It's about the experience.
And Jarrell's Goblin DN. What is DN?
These nuts.
I hate. Quentin, just be Quentin. You right. But yeah, you know, maybe I'll give it another try. 5-10 years from now, we'll see how it goes. But you know, for a while,
Have you ever spent money to attend an event with your friends?
Yeah, all the time.
So it's not about the money. It's about the gathering of together of friends and doing something that you can enjoy together.
I think he is just upset that it was hot in the sun and he had to walk places.
There were several days when the weather was cool. It wasn't hot. It's going to be hot some days in August. It's always going to have a hot day in August. Don't go on the hot day. Look at the weather, find a day that's cool, and pick that day because it's an outdoor event.
I said the same thing. I said, hey, y'all, you know, there's been a heat wave these last couple of days because we went the week. We went.
It's been cool
Sunday?
all week until today.
Yeah, we went Sunday, and it was just. And I also have to be fair to everybody there too. I brought it on myself, and I have to take responsibility for that. All right, I did go in a black shirt. I brought a jacket just in case it rained because I wanted to be an adult and not be stuck in the rain. I had jeans on. I didn't do myself any favors, and I accept that. You know, I played a part in my own demise. And but still,
so your misery is self-inflicted.
Well, no, not all the way. Some of it though is my fault, but you know, other parts of it pretty ghetto. And I don't think I'll be going back for a while. But I encourage everybody to go. You know, because people like Jaki gotta get paid. You know what I'm saying? And again, for the people who do like walking and don't mind the heat, it's a great time. You get to see the people around the state. There's food everywhere. It's pretty decent. I had one of the best brownies I think I've ever had in my life there. What else was really good? I don't remember anything else. Oh, I had a turkey leg for the first time. That was interesting. So, you know, there were things about it that
there's
were
a
cool.
there's a lot of other things to do. You just had to maybe read the little brochure about it, and you probably would pick something out that you'd like to do.
It was
go to
nice
the National
hearing-
Bazaar where you have a lot of the African artwork and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did go in the bazaar. I didn't see any African artwork. I was looking for anime stuff, but we did go to the bazaar. Bazaar was pretty interesting. Also seeing somebody go to the Boys II Men concert and lose it and like just be all the way there for Boys II Men still at this time was pretty interesting too. I will say that was pretty dope. I didn't know they had fans that were that deep.
Shaka Khan was there that night too.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know. Yeah, that was the night where we went, and it was, yeah, that was nice to see that. But other than that, yeah, I'm fared out, you know? I'm fared up. But, you know, I hope everybody else enjoys it and has a great time with it. How's everybody else's week been going? How's your week, Jackie?
Who, me?
Yeah, how was your week?
Well, this is my second year working at the state fair, and I always go to the state fair anyway. I like the state fair. I like other state fairs as well. I'm a fair amusement park type person. So,
see, amusement parks I'm all the way in on. I love amusement parks. Valley Fair, Donny Park, Six Flags. I'm all in because the rides break up the being hot. Like even if you get in line, you're not doing too much. You're just standing there, and if you go on the right day, it's not too bad. So I can deal with that. But walking from one end to the other.
The midway at the state fair.
You say again? There's a midway at the state fair?
We got rides.
I don't trust state fair rides though. They frighten me. You
know what? All the amusement park rides this year have not happened at state fairs.
Okay, fair point. I had a man who was missing an eye check to see if my safety strap was okay, and I think that was the last time I took a ride at the fair. So I just couldn't do it.
Well, one thing you know, he paying attention because he can't be distracted.
He ain't looking nowhere else.
That's a positive way to look at that. Because I look at
everything positive. That's why I'm successful as a person.
I love it. Because I looked at it as my life is in God's hands right now. And
that's right.
I can do about it.
It's just right now. It's all the time.
I was like, yo, it didn't even have an eye patch or nothing. And everybody should get hired, but
you had to look up there and say, oh, he blessed me with another day. I got to make it a good day.
Yeah. Yeah. But do you get to go to like some of the events at the fair for free, or you still got to be working and everything, like the concerts and everything? I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I can go. I work a day shift, 7 to 4.
Okay.
So if I wanted to come back for a concert, I just get my hand stamped like anybody else and come back in.
Okay, cool, cool.
I can only scan my employee badge once a day.
Okay.
So if I want to come back, I have to get the stamp like anybody else would.
That's still so pretty cool.
I saw Earth, Wind, and Fire last year, and Sinbad. And
Sinbad was there.
Patti LaBelle. Yeah, Sinbad was there.
Oh, cool. I hope he's doing okay. I remember he had a stroke that was really, really bad. So
they got some good talent at the state fair.
For sure.
So. But when do you want me to start this thing? Get enough people on?
Honestly, I was gonna check. I should have checked any time in the past 2-3 weeks of how long it is.
It could be as long as as short as the people want it to be.
Well,
because some people, if they want to ask questions, fine. I'll go over my 5 basic parts of financial literacy.
Okay.
And then if they want to start, some people have scenarios they want to run down and say, hey, if this, then what, and stuff like that, or how does this work? Some people have questions about how does things work. Like I was going to talk about the credit score. Everybody hears about a credit score, but not many people know what are the components of a credit score.
I think that's a really good thing to talk about, especially people trying to make improvements on their credit score, different ways to go about that. So I'm really interested in stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm
down to start whatever.
I have tips and stuff, but basically my workshop has 5 basic sections.
Okay.
One is your credit score, of course. You hear all about that. You get out of school and you go, what the heck is this credit score thing? You don't know what goes into it. The second part is savings versus spending. How do you accomplish both in your money management program, and then and your financial goals.
So we can start anytime you're. We've done our opening. Chat's not popping off right now, so we're not asking questions at the moment. So we're good to start. If you want to go ahead and, I was gonna say not start, but kind of give your not credentials. I don't know what to say. Like what I'm trying to say.
Okay, my background and ability to talk about these topics.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, my professional career is basically an accountant, so I learned all about this stuff in school, which helped me to build my own financial literacy base because I learned about it in order to become an accountant and be able to advise people on their financial matters as well as corporations. I was in corporate accounting, not in individual accounting. And so I do have a degree in accounting with a minor in computer programming and technology. And my first 20 years, I was an auditor working for the state of Illinois and of my career. And then I moved on to the state of Washington and became their chief financial regulator, which means I was in charge of all of the financial solvency requirements of the financial services industry in their state. And then the proud state of Minnesota got wind of me and decided to offer me the job as chief financial regulator of the state of Minnesota because they had lost their accreditation where they were going to be suspended. And that means other states had to come in and do their work. So that was my specialty, is accreditation. So I came here as their chief financial regulator in 1997, and I retired from that and became CEO of an insurance company for a few years. And after that, I did consulting work for 5 years, and now I just do volunteer consulting work. I do the financial literacy workshops because my boss and I, when I worked for the Commerce Department, we've noticed how many high school kids graduate from high school, go off to college, get into a lot of debt, and they have no idea what to do once they get out when it comes to their financial solvency. So we started doing the financial literacy workshops in the junior year of high school for the high schools around Twin Cities. And that was very successful. So after I retired, I decided to do that on a volunteer basis myself. So I do them around Twin Cities to groups like the Jeremiah program, the Wellstone Foundation, community centers. I have a senior one at a community center now. I've done them in church and churches. just to help people like understand and get a grasp on what it is that keeps them struggling. And then find solutions based on their lifestyles to get them out of that struggling phase. Sometimes people financially struggle for years and years because they just don't know how to overcome that repetitive cycle. I'm broke. I get paid. I feel great. 2 days later, I'm broke. I wait another week. I get paid. I feel great. 2 weeks later, I'm broke. That cycle is repetitive because they don't really know how to do the things. Many people go to financial planners. Financial planners will tell you what you need to do. You need to save. You need to invest. You need to have an emergency fund. You need to do this. But they never tell you how. So you keep going back paying them to tell you what you should do, but they never tell you how. So I always start my workshops with, these are the things you should do. You already know what you should do. You just don't know how. So you never get out of that cycle of mistakes.
Okay.
And making poor decisions. So my workshops pretty much focus on how do you manage your money? How do you save your money? And all of that is geared. What is that? Did my screensaver go off or something?
No, you're good. Can you see it?
No, y'all, my screensaver, I hadn't hit nothing, so it blanked out. Okay. So my thing is to basically show people how they can accomplish these things, but I try to do an assessment of their lifestyle so they can incorporate the hows into what their lifestyle is. Some people don't do nothing. I have one girlfriend that drives me nuts. I have known her since 2007. We met at church. We're very close. She came over. You met her, Jay. She came over while you were here, Julia.
Oh, yeah.
We met each other at church. We became best friends, found out we both bowled, ended up in the same league, right? So 2007, this is 2023. Do you know we've only been to lunch after church one time? She don't like to do nothing. She gets out of church and goes home. It's like, if I don't hurry up and get home, I'm going to explode and I'm going to disintegrate as a person. Girl, let's go get something to eat. Her lifestyle is basically centers around her at home. She lives with her brother, her niece, and her niece's husband. And they even say, Jackie, come get her, take her out, make her do something. I said, I try. But her lifestyle is just that. So you know what she does with her money? She gives it to her grandkids. She got a 40-year-old grandson. She pays his phone bill. She pays his rent when he don't get his rent paid. I said, that's not how you're supposed to use your money. She always broke paying other folks' bills. She's 76 years old paying her grandson's rent.
Oh, man.
I know. But her lifestyle is that when she do want to do something, like she wants to take a trip this fall to California to see her new great-grandchildren, I told her if she don't hurry up, they're going to be driving to here to see her. But her lifestyle, I try to gear her program to her lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So someone like me who likes to travel, I don't necessarily, I save, but I don't like spending my savings on my fun. So I do fun things for money. Like I'm working this state fair, 12 days of the state fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get paid $2,400 for 12 days of work.
Okay.
My vacation in November, I got it.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
So I do things like that. People say, you ain't never going to stop working. I said, no, I want to do something fun that pays money. So 12 days of the state fair for $2,400. That's my lifestyle, travel. That pays for my travel this fall. If I want to go to, like we're going to go to Portugal, I can go. So anyway, I try to get people to look at their own lifestyle. And then I give them tips and tools of how they can accomplish their goals. Their savings goals, their money management goals, and their spending goals.
Okay.
With that. So look at your lifestyle. That's a tip that I always tell people. Now, when it comes to the credit score, anything you want to do major, that credit score is going to identify you as either responsible or irresponsible. People that got money that you want to try to get, they want to be able to identify you as a responsible person that will pay them back. Okay? The cost of that money is the interest rate. Okay? So you can hold on to my money for a period of time, but you're going to have to pay me for that. Okay, it's almost like paying for a service. I give you service, you pay me for that. I give you advice, you pay me for that. I give you money, you pay me for the use of my money. Okay? Now, there's 5 components that make up the credit score. There's your payment history. So if you always pay your bills late, that accounts for 35% of your credit score. Okay? Your amount of outstanding debt. If you've maxed out your credit cards, that's going to count for 30% of your credit score. Because credit is not supposed to be used to finance your daily living. It's supposed to be used for major events or a temporary layover like an emergency. Some people, they charge everything on their credit card. Then when they get paid, they got to pay that credit card. They got no money, so now they got to keep using the credit card. Or they got to pay their rent, which they can't pay if they got all this credit card debt. They got to pay the credit card. So they pay the minimum balance due. And the minimum payment is only like 10% of what they owe. You keep charging on it, that minimum payment will go up. But the debt's going up faster than the minimum payment. And you're paying it down slower than if you were able to pay it off. I always advise people, do not charge food on a credit card. Because you ate the foods, you paid for poop and pee. Because that's all you got out of it. You got a bill, and the food's gone. And what did the food end up being? Poop or pee. So don't do that. Budget yourself so that you always pay cash, or you pay your debit card or do a cashback card, something that you know that you will not be carrying that balance from month to month. Because the food is gone in 5 minutes, and the debt stays for months. So that's a thing I always advise people not to do. The third component is the length of your credit history. And don't take this wrong, because you have to realize I'm 72 years old. But my credit history says that I have, it only goes back so many years. But right now it says that I have 14 years of on-time payments. I have something like 276 months of on-time payments. I don't know where the max is, but that's about as high as it ever seems to get. So the length of your credit, that tells people that it don't matter what she do, she didn't pay them people back, because it's still out there. And based on your credit mix, which is the next component, like part of my credit history is my mortgage. Part of my credit history is car notes. Those are the 2 major purchases that everybody will make, one or the other or both. And if you've always done those things on time, it increases your credit score. So if you got a car payment, make it on time, because that is a big factor if that's the only major debt that you have. Same thing with student loans. That's another major debt. And the next thing is new credit. You notice you ever go, every store you go in, they always say, we'll get a 15% discount if you open an account today, right? And you say, cool. Because that means if it's $100, I only pay $85 for something that costs $100, right? Well, if you have a lot of those little accounts, that counts against you. It's only 10% of your credit score, but it's still 10% of negativity. Because now you got 40 accounts, and they're all open. And whatever the balance, whatever the credit limit is on there, that's considered your amount of debt outstanding. On your credit report, they consider that all outstanding debt, because potentially you could use that at any time. And it's available for use. So that counts against you. So those are the 5 major components. Then when I talk about saving, you get money. You go to work, you get paid, right? There's only 2 things you can do with money. You can either save it or you can spend it. You can't do both. You got to choose one over the other. With every decision with your money, it's either I'm going to save this or I'm going to spend this. Now, there's only 2 things that you spend money on. Needs or wants. I need shoes, but I want them $400 Jordans. If I get them $400 Jordans, I'm going to have to charge it. That means I'm going to have to pay for them on the credit card. That means I'm going to mess with my credit debt amount. You need shoes. Maybe you should shop at Target if you can't pay for your shoes based on your clothing budget. If you can't afford them, you shouldn't wear them. Because if you keep charging your clothes, you don't have no money, because when you start paying them bills off, you done ate up your paycheck in paying prior stuff. And heaven forbid, you put a stain on it and you can't wear it no more.
Scuff the Jordans right away.
Yeah, exactly. So I tell people, set up spending rules for yourself. You know, you should have at least 3 credit cards, but have rules for yourself. You have one credit card that you stick in a drawer, you never use it. Because if you end up getting stranded on the side of the road, your car break down, you got an emergency fund. Emergency funds generally is something that you put cash aside, but that's not always possible considering your income, your lifestyle, or whatever, because a lot of people are living just a little bit better than paycheck to paycheck. So if you keep that empty credit card in your drawer so that something happens, you can take care of it, that's smart. That's smart. So I advise people to have 3 credit cards. The second credit card should be a credit debit card that you use for your everyday expenses. Get one that's got the cashback feature, or get one that's got some other perk to it, like travel miles. If you like to travel, get a card that has travel miles. When I tell people this, they go, "Damn, I could have did that." There's things that I have a travel card. I have an American Express card, right? They just sent me a gift for being 50 years an American Express card holder, and I used during the COVID. I had to pay my gas bill, electric bill. You know, you had to pay your bills, right? Insurance. I paid everything with my American Express card, which is tied to my Delta mileage account. Now, Jay, you wonder how many times how I get all the miles over the 2 years of COVID, because I'm gonna pay the electric bill anyway. So I just use my American Express card to pay, and then pay the American Express bill. I had got 100. I earned 160,000 miles during those 2 years of COVID by using my American Express card to pay my bills.
I need those miles. I need miles like that.
I like to travel, and all my trips and they don't expire, because during COVID they removed the restriction that you had to use them within 5 years. They are eternal. So you know when you want, like when you were up here and I just went on and got you a thing for mileage, I just got you a ticket. I don't care. I didn't pay for it. No way. So, y'all think I'm such a gift giver. I am, but I try to fix it so that I can just do things, especially when it comes to travel. So,
real quick, do you have cards that you recommend for people, like a certain company that you would roll with? I know you say you use American Express, but are there other ones?
Travel, I use that for travel. So, and it's tied to my Delta mileage account, which you can, your American Express, there's a lot of accounts, different accounts you can tie it to. Okay. And then some banks, you can tie them to different things. Like there's some credit cards, like Amazon is always tied to Amazon or something like that. But I like Capital One, because Capital One's very flexible. And they're very good. They're very timely. They're very flexible, and they're very generous when it comes to like overdraft protection. So you can have, if you have your checking account or savings account with Capital One, with a Capital One account, they tie it all together, and they're very good at managing the avoidance of fraud. They track your spending habits better than anybody that I've seen. And so like me, I was in Chicago for a week and a half, and I got home and my Capital One card wouldn't work to fill up my car. And then I hadn't checked, but they had sent me an email that said, "We noticed irregular activity on your account." It turned out that somebody had got into my Cash App account and Cash Apped out of my checking account $960. And Capital One said that's not her, because in their algorithm, it tracks your spending habits. And this was in California, and they knew it wasn't me. Or they suspected it wasn't me. So they shut my card down. Turns out it was a fraud. I got all my money back, and then they went after finding the people that did that. But they put that into their fraud investigating unit. They took over everything about it. They put my money back, then they went into action to find these people that were committing that fraud. So they're very good. They're very good.
Okay, good. Yeah, definitely. So Capital One, I got, and then also I know like certain cards. Again, you said certain perks of the cards.
Yes. Certain credit cards have perks like 3% cash back, 5% cash back. So that if you spend $100, they will put 5% of that into your checking account when you use that card.
when you're trying to build up your credit or improve it, what would be a good perk on a credit card to have for that?
Cashback.
The cashback? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you want to use the credit card in order to build up your payment history.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get a little bit back. Because if like sometimes like Sam's Club has a card, and if you shop at Sam's, you get like 10% cash back, and they take it right off the top when you're shopping.
Mm.
So if your bill comes to $120, they take that $12 right off of the top. So with that. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So cashback has become a very popular feature. Because throughout the year, when you think about it, you probably use that card for over $1,000. So that's $100 in your pocket.
Yeah.
From the
would be great. That the frequent flyer miles would be really good. I know for me personally, I'm trying to build my credit back a lot better. So I'm looking into stuff like that and everything, and then trying to get a handle on being better at saving. Those are my two things that I'm really trying to do.
Savings, like I said, there's only two things you can do with money: save it or spend it. Mm-hmm. So you've got to look at your spending profile. Okay, and you've got goals. You always want to know, I want to have $3,000 in my emergency fund. You have goals. Okay, spending problems surface with impromptu spending. Jesus. Or you know what really causes young people, the millennials, a headache? They eat out a lot.
Yep.
And if you don't, you look at what if you were to document for just 2 weeks what you spent on everything, you would look at that and you'll go, I had a client of mine do that, and it turns out she spent $250 a month on Caribou and Starbucks. You know what I told her to do?
Make coffee at home.
But you know what I told her? What do you like? What do you like when you go to Caribou or Starbucks, whichever is your choice of fancy coffee? I said, what do you like? She goes, oh, I like the mocha almond whatever thing is. I said, go to the grocery store, and in the coffee section, they got those syrups, the same syrups that they have for $3. For that bottle costs $3. Okay? You can buy your coffee of choice. You can buy Caribou or Starbucks brand coffee. Okay? Now, all that crap that they put in it is just milk. Buy you some almond milk, put your little caramel syrup in there, and stir that around up real fast to get that froth. You got what you just paid $5 for. So she went out and she told me in church the next week that she and her husband both like those fruit coffee drinks. She went out and she bought her one of those coffee maker things. I don't know, it might be similar to what Jay got down there. And they made every morning, that was a thing that they did in the morning. And they did something, now they learned how to do something together every day. They made their little coffee drink, put in their little mug, and she even took that. I said, and you know what else you should do? You know how you in Starbucks and what? They have a tip cup. Put a tip cup by your coffee machine in the kitchen. So her and her husband dropped that $5 in that tip cup. At the end of the week, they had over $100. So based on her lifestyle, they started saving $100 a week. That's $5,000 in a year that she would have spent on coffee.
So much money.
That's crazy.
You bought a coffee machine, and I needed a good one.
And that's what they did. They bought them one of those espresso or whatever machines, and they make their own. And it's now it's kind of a fun thing that they start making all kind of different stuff. But they only spending maybe $30 a week on those ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think I spend for my coffee. I think I spend about $40 every month.
There you go. And if you go to Starbucks every day, that $40 is just like,
oh yeah, no,
that's just,
it's gone.
That's only 4 days.
Yeah, I have a little coffee shop downstairs. For me getting a coffee there and maybe like a pastry or something, that's running me
$10.
$10.
And that's
$10 a day.
That's the other thing, because if you go in that coffee shop, you're not gonna just get coffee. You're gonna get a pastry, a breakfast sandwich. You look up, you up to $15 in no time.
Mm-hmm.
And that fast food's not good for you anyway.
It's really not.
Mm-mm. So based on your lifestyle, make some changes, and then quantify that, and you'll say, if I put that in, that every month, she empties her tip cup and takes it and puts it in the bank.
Okay.
Yes. So I always try to let people look at their own lifestyle and see where they can make some changes. I have in my needs versus want workshop that I do for the Jeremiah program, which is girls from 16 to 26. I have this one evening where I do the needs versus want talk for 45 minutes. And the first thing I do is tell them all to put their purses on top of the desk, and I put my purse on top of the podium. And I say, what's in your purse? Kleenex, keys, wallet, whatever, essentials. And I said, now tell me what kind of purse you got. Michael Kors, Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, all these. I said, why you put other folks' name that's millionaires on your stuff? You find they name to carry the same shit that I'm carrying in my $25 Target purse.
It's a status symbol for them.
I like Michael Kors. I got 6 or 7 Michael Kors bags. There's no question about it. But then I was making 6 figures. They making 2 figures an hour. It's a big difference. All you're trying to do is prove to somebody else you can, but really you can't. Be honest with yourself. You buying diapers and milk. I ain't buying diapers and milk.
Why was that such a guttural laugh?
Because I felt that in my spirit. You're right. I'm not buying diapers or milk.
Exactly. So, but I mean, just based on your lifestyle, you got to be, able to match up your spend. I have one girl in my class. This is a true story. It was this Thursday before Easter. It was Thursday night classes at the Jeremiah program. So the Thursday before Easter, everybody's coming in, and she's telling her friends that she spent $200 on her 3-year-old's Easter outfit. And I said, really? I said, oh, okay. She said, oh, he's going to be the cutest toddler in the church on Easter Sunday. I said, toddlers are cute whether you bring them in there naked. It don't matter what he wearing. He don't know. He don't care. He going to be cute no matter what. You can bring him in there in a pillowcase, and he still be cute. She said, oh, no, he going to be sharp. She spent $200 on an outfit for a 3-year-old. Okay, fine. The Thursday after Easter, she in there doing this. Miss Gardner. I said, what? We went to church. And Minnesota don't have good weather on Easter, right? We know that. We all know Minnesota don't have good weather on Easter. That's just not in the cards, right? She got out the car. She got him out of his car. She sit him down, reached back in to get her purse and her belongings. And about 5 feet away was a water puddle. Now, you know a 3-year-old can charge a water puddle?
Oh, God.
She just turned her back. The next thing she turned back around, that boy, shalash. She mad as hell. She ain't even got in church yet. I said, why are you mad at him? He's 3 years old. He did what he was supposed to do. Did you do what you were supposed to do? You supposed to go to Walmart, Target, or wherever it is, spend $50 on the little 3-piece suit that look. He gonna be cute in everything he wear because he's a toddler. There's a thing called love and logic. You love him for him to look good, but the logic is don't spend all that money on that little boy because he ain't gonna wear that outfit but one time, even if he didn't do that. Because next year on Easter, he's gonna be 4 years old, he's gonna be wearing a whole different size. So you done mess around and gotta give it away. or try to sell it again. That's not smart. So based on your lifestyle, you need to make decisions about your money. Because
I remember I did that for my nephew. I don't know why. I was just like, I want to buy him some Jordans. He was a baby still, but I was like, I want to buy him some like nice shoes. Bought this kid like baby shoes aren't expensive, but these were some expensive baby shoes. I think they were around $80 or something.
Yep, I believe it.
And I was just like, oh, he gonna look fire in these. He wore them like a few times, and it was good. And then he grew out of them, and I'm like, what is going on? I was so upset.
Ernie, my mother bought Ernie some Air Jordans when he was a baby, and I said, why would you buy Air Jordan for a baby and he can't walk? Shoes are made for walking. The baby can't walk, Granny. I want him to have the Air Jordans. He can't walk. So Ernie had them 75. I think they were $75. Air Jordans as a baby. I said he can't walk. So some things you just have to think about based on your lifestyle, what you can and cannot or should and should not do. You know, and just because you can doesn't mean that you can't crease them if he can't walk. He also can't walk in and support them either. So anyway, I just tell, especially because when you're young, most of your income is discretionary. Mm-hmm. You know, you ain't had no money, so you don't really kind of make rules up for yourself. But now that you're 30-something, you start setting some boundaries for yourself. Set some boundaries for yourself because it'll pay off in the end. You know, it took me 33 years to buy my first Jaguar, saving for it. Because I didn't want to take anything out the household budget. I made money at the bowling alley, I put it in the Jaguar fund. I played the lottery, won $25, put it in the Jaguar fund. Because the money that you spent for a lottery ticket or something like that is gone. So the money that you win, just put it in something towards a goal. Yep. So I did that. It took me 33 years, but I got it. And then I bargained for it. I always teach people also, one of the tools I say is bargain. Because cash up front will get you further than financing over a period of time. If you can save for something and buy it, like my first Jaguar, I only spent $28,000 for it because it was already 3 years old. It had 30,000 miles on it. And so the guy was willing to bargain because, you know, I'm like, well, hey, I got 28,000. You want 33, but I can get you this cash right now. You want to wait for somebody to come along and then bargain with you or try to dicker with you to get you down from 33? He took the 28,000, the dealer, because that's what I had.
I think haggling is a skill that not many people know how to do anymore.
I agree with that.
We just, it never comes up in our lives, really. What are you making that face for?
I got flashbacks of being in Philly. I got flashbacks of being in Philly.
I'm just saying, most people
selling stuff outside. You see the people selling stuff outside, whether it be shoes, purses, whatever, and you gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? You either ignore them completely, or if you in the game but trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? You want 10, you got 7, you gotta try to make them think that this 7 is really a deal, you know? You gotta
it's now versus if down the road.
You gotta make it happen. So
I got friends who say, Jackie, come with me. I'm going to buy a car. Come with me. I'm like, I ain't coming with you nowhere. But I did go with one of my bowling teammates one time. He had seen this car as a Cadillac, and he said, I want you to go look at this car. So we went, and then he said, come on, you got to help me talk to the salesperson about this. I went, okay. So I talked. We were in there talking. So I said to the guy, I think that car is worth, I don't know what he wanted for it. He wanted, like, let's just say $12,000. I said, you know what? I think you should take around 10 for that car. And he said, no, 12 was a bargain. It was a low mileage car. It had been an elderly man that died and sold it or something. And so I said, first of all, you always buy a car at the end of the month. So I told Harry, I said, you know what? Today is the 28th. I bet you can get him to come down to $10,000. He goes, why? I said, because it's the end of the month. They're trying to make their quota for the month, because then they get those bonuses and stuff if they make their quotas. So we had to bowl at like 3:00, and this guy he wasn't budging or whatever. So finally I said, Harry, let's just go. We got to go bowling. We got to get to league. And the guy said, where you going? I said, we got to go bowling. And Harry said, but I want that car. I said, oh, it'll still be here Monday. I guarantee you. Ain't nobody going to buy that car over the weekend. And so didn't nobody buy it over the weekend. That guy called Harry and said, if you come back Monday, I'll give it to you for 10. Harry said, how did you do that? I said, if you walk away, ain't nobody else coming behind you. It's not like you're walking, lined up at the door for that car. That's just a psych job on the salesman. They make you think that you got to get it now. No, you don't.
There's power in saying, hey, I'm good. Because you need this money. I already got it. So
you need that sale too, because if you don't make your quota, you don't get your bonus.
You need this bread. I want this something. I can go somewhere else.
There you go. If you don't get this one, you'll get another one. So yeah, I don't have no problem walking away. If it's not, I didn't walk away from my new Jag. Do you know that car listed for $64,000? Know how much I paid for it? $46,000. I told him how much I was gonna pay for the car. He said, I'm not. He said, Laura, I'll come down to 62. I went, I'll give you 46 for it. 40. I said, I tell you what, I'll give you 50 for it. He goes, no. I said, okay, fine. So I left. 2 days later, he came down to 46. And I had offered him 50.
See, I need to be able to be that.
Then he said, well, since I gave you such a bargain, I don't know if I can give you a decent interest rate on the credit. So I go in my purse, handed him a letter from the bank saying that I had a line of credit up to $60,000. He didn't have to do no finance. He goes, damn, you just came totally prepared, didn't you? I said, oh, you thought I was going to tell you that before I started dealing?
See, yeah, we definitely don't have that skill.
What they need to know when they need to know it, Brother Miles. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, brother? You know what I mean, man? You don't gotta tell them everything, just what you need to know.
Don't call me Brother Miles.
But I try to tell people that everything is not an urgency. You go shopping for something, especially a big ticket item. Take your time. You ain't got to have it today. You got to take your time and be prepared for all the negative stuff that they gonna try to convince you that you got to do this now. They won't be here. That's baloney.
That's that is definitely something that I need to take to heart, because when I bought my car, it was same day for me. I went in, asked how much I can get for my other car, said I want this car, and then I left with that car. I don't like shopping. I don't like shopping. I don't like dealing with it. Once I know what I want, I'm like, I want that. And if I can make that work, I'm getting it. Mm-hmm. But I probably...
And that's not all bad as a personality trait. But but prepare yourself before you go shopping so that when you see what you want, you prepared to get it.
Yeah. Go and get in, get out. Be on your way.
Yeah, I definitely could have gotten that cheaper.
Yeah. And set your budget. Don't take their price. Set your budget.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have did all that. I did not.
Now you know for the future. Can I ask what is your advice from going trying to break out of the paycheck to paycheck cycle? One thing that I wouldn't say struggle with, but I have it down packed, but I want to do more. Is having all of my base, like my rent paid, my electric paid, my food taken care of, like all that base stuff is done. And then I only have like $150, $200 to really make moves with. So I want to do more. So what would, outside of like cutting back on going out and spending and everything like that, is there something I can
lifestyle. Do? Yeah, look at your lifestyle and see where is it that I could shave some of these expenses.
Okay.
I always say, I offer advice. Look at your own lifestyle. A lot of financial planners said you got to cut this, you got to cut that. Well, they don't live with you. They don't know your likes and dislikes. They don't know your things that you're interested in. Like you might have hobbies, or you might have things that you do with your friends or family that cost money that you want to do. If you rob yourself of all of that, you have diminished your life to nothing. Yeah. So look at your lifestyle though, and there are probably areas where you can say, you know what, I could do without that. Or I could budget for this being a part of my money plan. But when I hit that limit, I'm done. So if you like I have a client that loves movies, fine. If you set yourself a $25 a month movie budget because you want to go to a movie every month, you only gonna go to 2 movies. Or if you want to go to 2 movies, then you set yourself a $50. But once you get up to that, don't just keep going. Movies is kind of a simplistic example.
No, but it's a really good one because like I love video games and stuff like that. I love going out with my friends and everything like that. Right now I'm trying to save so I can go on a trip and be comfortable when I get over there. So I got a lot of stuff. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get more, really to get water out of a stone. Like we're good, but what can I do to get a little bit more?
You can set up some percentages too. You say that 10% of my budget should be fun.
Okay.
Now, how you divide up? Like, if you make $1,000 a month and you want 10% to go to fun, that's $100 a month. That's a simplistic example too, but you get my drift. And then some months you don't really do it. Might be wintertime or something. You don't really do a lot. Still put that 10% in your entertainment budget. You can segment your savings account in your mind, not necessarily on the account, but say, by segmenting, say, I'm put 10% of my money for fun aside when I get paid. And then that goes into your savings. Now, your savings is going to be that plus anything else you put in there. Okay. Then it's just sitting there. And your rules of spending kick in and say, I'm not going to spend that. Some people will go into their temporary savings. Every month they dry it out because they see something. They see some new shoes, or they see some new this, a new video game came out. You have to discipline yourself to say, wait a minute, I've got to make sure that might be 2 months from now when I do that. Don't deplete your whole savings because it came out today. Yeah.
All right. And then trying to plan for the future. Like again, me and Miles were having a conversation. Just planning for the future of things. Like maybe if I got it now, go ahead and set the pre-order up and take care of that. So that way I got to worry about anything when the day of comes. And the money that I would have spent on it, put that towards savings, to put that towards something else.
Here's another thing. Add up your absolute bills. Like you have to pay your rent. And I don't know if you got utilities, whatever. Yeah. Add all of that up. If that comes up to 70% of your net take-home pay, then put 70% of your pay into your household account. That's your checking account. And the rest of it goes into saving, and that's what your lifestyle comes off of your savings. But if you trim down your lifestyle, it'll stay there. Some of it's going to come out, but the savings will grow. Because you're going to see it grow, and you're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I was going to do such and such, but I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm going to leave it there. And then when you do get to something that you really want to do, it'll be there. It'll be there.
Okay. Also, I remember
it also keeps money available for your bills over there.
That's something you said. I know we were talking about it before, but you also mentioned it now, is that there's a separate account for bills than like fun, I guess. I've never done that, and it never like registered to me to do that, because it's just like I can just keep it all in like one thing and just mentally keep track of it.
Well, here's why. Your lifestyle hasn't really reached that point.
It's reaching there. It's getting
Well, I
to
mean,
that point.
because like I have a home.
Yeah.
My emergency fund is for different purposes. Like when I had the flood in the house,
Yeah.
I come home and my water pipe then broke. My emergency fund has to be there all the time because I got a house. If you have a water leak, you go call the superintendent. I don't have nobody to call. So my lifestyle dictates that I have to be able to take care of my own problems when it comes to my house.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a little different. So you probably don't need that household account to make sure that that's always taken care of, no matter when it is or needs to be. That's over there, and so I don't mess with that money because it's going to take care of the house. I got to make sure the home insurance is paid because I don't want to have something happen to the house and now my insurance is lapsed or canceled. So that, and then I have automatic payments set up so that it's always paid on time to the insurance company, and my car insurance is always paid on time to the insurance company. So that's in the household account. So if those bills constitute like half of one of my retirement checks, then half of one of my retirement checks, I have it split between my fund account and my household account. So it's automatically direct deposited into that account. So it's always replenished when the mortgage come out of there. It goes back in automatically on that next month.
Real quick, earlier you said try to use your credit cards for the bigger things. Again, like buying a car or stuff like that.
No, set rules for yourself. Because like me, if it's $20 or less, and I cannot get my son to I hope he's listening.
He's not, but I'm listening.
He doesn't carry cash. We'll be at the store or something, and I'll be like paying for something. It'd be like $15, and it might be $17, and I got $15 in cash. And I said, Ernie, give me $3. He goes, you don't have nothing, and that's not good. So I have a rule that anything I carry $100. If something costs $20 or less, I pay cash.
Okay.
If it costs more than $20, I use my debit card. If it costs more than $100, I use my credit card.
Okay.
Because you really shouldn't be doing your credit card for them little bitty transactions for like potato chips at the mini mart and all that kind of stuff. Ernie uses debit card for everything. His account has to be a nightmare of transactions.
I use my debit card for everything too.
Yeah,
I think that's a millennial thing because they never really dealt with cash. They always had a debit card.
Like,
see, I had cash
before, but then like I don't know. It's just like we never. Once we transferred and we got the card, it just never like, why do I need cash anymore? I have this card. It's accepted everywhere almost.
Yeah. I use cash a lot, but it's just because I'm really getting tired of dealing with banks. And
you know what? That's not all bad. There's pros and cons because there's a lot of people who really are of that mind that I don't want to deal with the bank. I just want to pay cash. I want to have a couple $100 in my pocket. I want to pay cash for things that I'm doing. But what? These little transactions add up before you know it. $3,000 credit payment. Yeah, $3,000 credit payment or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see,
that's undisciplined.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, that's undisciplined to use.
Yeah,
but
like I said, I was dealing with Wells Fargo, and that was it. That was the last time.
Well, they're not. Okay, here's another thing.
That's the last time.
Most people, these banks offer you all kinds of things to open up accounts when you're like coming out of high school. Because they only make money by charging you fees. Banks only make money two ways: fees and overnight investments of their depositors' money, account money. So they're trying to get as many fees as they can. Go with a credit union.
Okay.
That's a better financial institution for people that have a lot of small transactions.
Now, with a credit union, right? Mm-hmm. That is... how does that really work? Because it's
credit
not
union, Okay.
A full credit card. It's also not a full bank. So
No. Credit union is another type of financial depository institution.
Okay.
You have thrifts, credit unions, banks, and savings and loans. Those are all financial institutions with depositor accounts, but their management and operation is different governance. A credit union is governed by its members. So the members get membership rights and votes and shares in the ownership of the credit union. It's member owned. A bank is a corporation that the only thing they're trying to do is hold on to your money to make money.
Make money. Okay.
That's all the bank does. Big banks, they make big money because they offer incentives to get you in there, and then they use you to make money.
And then they use the money that you put in.
Then they use the money you put in to earn money. Yeah. And then they don't pay you nothing. They might be earning overnight deposits. They earning 6, 7, 8%, and you making 0.025% on your money.
I don't like Wells Fargo.
Yeah, Wells Fargo's not one because they're a big bank and they're not interested in their customers. I always advise young people to go with a credit union or go to a small community bank.
Do you have a credit union you suggest?
I'm with a federal credit union. I'm with Affinity Plus. Highland is a good one. Affinity Plus is a good one. There's a new one out there. Oh God, what's the name of it? Oh shoot, that's really nice too. It's really good.
And then what should I be looking for if I do decide to join a credit union?
They're all pretty much the same. Some are smaller than some are federal credit unions, some are state, which means that's just a regulatory regime that they have to answer to. But I'm trying to think of this new one that's really, really I have heard really good things about. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out and give you that information.
All right, yeah, let me know.
I'm with a federal credit union. Affinity is great. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. They have locations all throughout the Twin Cities, St. Cloud, all throughout the state. They are absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I think that's probably my next biggest move as far as like looking for stuff to do. Join a credit union. Also, when I was younger, I don't know if it was my dad or my granddad that told me a credit union does help build your credit. Is that also true? And then how is that? Is it
because they're more customer friendly? They're more interested in you as a person as opposed to a bank is interested in you as an account holder.
All right.
That's the only ways that they make money is get more account holders and charge them fees.
I'll definitely let you know about that one because, I'm looking at like I said, I'm looking for as many ways to either have my money put me in a better position or put myself.
Somebody, Eric the Viking put Affinity with the plus with the thumbs up. Yeah, they're a very, very good, reputable credit union.
I'll probably be looking into them when I get to move in because I have a bank down here. It's a very good bank that I like, but they're only in Texas, so gotta find me a new bank.
A state chartered bank is better than a federally chartered bank. Wells Fargo is a federally chartered bank, so they're not going to be as consumer friendly as a state chartered bank.
Did I ever tell you what happened with Wells Fargo? So Wells Fargo is one of the main reasons why my credit went so poorly after a while. I worked on it. Me and you talked about it, but it was 2016 around then. I was moving to Texas, but before that, I was like, all right, I'm switching jobs. I have direct deposit on a lot of these accounts, and I'm like, I want to turn these off because I don't need them anymore. Planet J. Oh, I'm like, who's Planet J?
Who is Planet J?
I don't know.
What's up, Planet J?
Credit union gave me my first credit card to help build my credit. That's perfect.
Okay.
But I was trying to turn off my. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're fine. But Planet J, what credit union did you use or do you use? So you gotta tell you keep speaking.
Yeah, I was trying to turn off my auto payments, and I had quite a bit because I was paying quite a bit of things. And I tried going through Wells Fargo, and they're like, "We're gonna charge you for every account that we have to stop payment on."
Whoa!
Yep. And they're like, we're gonna charge you, and it's $40 for every time we have to stop a payment or something like that. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Why can't I just close my account? And they're like,
oh no, you can't.
Yeah, they're like, you can't do that. And I'm like, all right, so can I stop the auto payments? And they're like, you can't do that either. We're gonna charge you.
What do you mean you can't stop the auto pay?
You could have stopped it with the vendor. Whoever it is, the auto pay was to, you should have called them and stopped it with them.
I did. So I stopped it with them, and what ended up happening, there was something happening where basically Wells Fargo just debited my account because of the auto payment, and then charged me for stopping the payment, but they didn't stop it, and then charged an overdraft.
Man, listen.
And I'm like, I had to dispute those charges, and while I got most of them disputed and taken off, they didn't do a lot of it. So then I ended up owing them money on top of moving, on top of doing everything, and it just kind of ruined a lot for me.
Yeah.
During that time. And Wells Fargo was just very unhelpful during the entire process. And yeah, it was just fighting tooth and nail. So I'm good on Wells Fargo.
Look, man, everybody wonders why I don't like banks. It is 100% because of Wells Fargo. I hate that. I hate them as
See, this is the problem that I have with federal banks like Wells Fargo and TCF was another one. They are what we call predatory institutions. They prey on the youthful ignorance of people. They tried it with Ernie with TCF, and by the time I got done with that branch manager, they was going to be changing the name of it to JLG.
I also had that one too.
TCF.
I closed it for the Wells Fargo, and then Wells Fargo still was like, and that wasn't even my first problem with Wells Fargo. It was just my last, because after that I was like, I'm done with them. I don't want to deal with them. Paid off all my debt to them and all that stuff, but by then the damage was done. Yeah, the damage is done. So now I'm just like, 2024, come on.
One thing I will definitely give people as a tip: when you get into a situation like that, you got what they call your financial regulatory services, and file a complaint, and also go to them and say, hey, you need to give me, you need to, on my credit report, put the information in there that we have corrected these problems, and so that the credit bureau can then make necessary adjustments.
I'm trying to tell you.
Whoever Planet J is, you're right. We ain't lying. We're not lying about folks. I was a financial services regulator for 38 years. And I know a lot about these companies. And that's why I do the literacy workshop, so I can teach people about how they operate and why you have so much trouble with them. Because they give you paperwork when you open an account that no sane person would read through. And then they'll tell you that, section 2932 of page article whatever says we can do this. And ain't nobody even
trying to do it. Yeah, I've never seen this before.
And
you got a lawyer almost just to
they're not consumer friendly. They're banks that are corporations. They are not friendly to your customer because they need you to make money. They're not doing you a favor. You're doing them a favor.
Yeah. For 7 years in the business department. Yo. Yeah, that's that. It literally soured me to banks as a whole. That was the last one. Them U.S. Bank was really cool. Was rocking with them, and then switched over to Wells Fargo. And that was it. That was the last one. I'm not doing it no more.
But Wells is known for their predatory practices.
So
outside of cutting back and everything, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about real quick too. Is
wait, who is this Eric the Viking?
That's also a person I went to junior high and high school with for a while. So, can you draft up something to help benefit us?
Like, what do you mean by?
What exactly are you looking for, Eric? Like, do you have a specific question that you want to ask, or something like that, or something more in general? That was another thing I wanted to get into. Is not only setting up a savings account, but what should you be looking for with your savings account? What kind of things would help you and everything like that? I know like the percentage you get back for using the savings account is kind of, well, depending on where you go and where it's either really trash to just okay. So is there something that we could be doing to make it better, or should we just be trying to look for a
Interest
different?
rates are driven by the government pretty much. The banking industry, you'll see them say that the LIBOR rate or some other standardized rating program sets rates. The U.S. Treasury rate is going to, the U.S. Treasury Department sets rates for government debt, and then that drives the interest rates that are being paid by banks, because the banks are going to earn what the U.S. Treasury approves for U.S. Treasury bonds and bills. So that's driven by the Treasury Department. So you get a little bit more here or a little bit less there. It's really boils down then to customer service, convenience, and other perks that they give. Affinity, I like them. They give points. If you keep your account a certain way, you earn points, and if you get so many points, you can buy gifts, or you can get services like you get overdraft protection free because you got so many points by operating your account properly. You're not writing a lot of bad checks. You're not going under overdrawn and stuff like that. So you get points. So the credit unions give you these incentives that are more driven to help you manage your money than worry about them earning money off of you. Okay. But the interest rates are pretty much driven by the U.S. Treasury Department. And get your kid a credit union account. They have kids account in credit unions too, and they give them toys and plants, stuff like that. Well, other banks do too, I guess too.
Look more into, you would say, because Jasmine asked, what's the best bank to help build my kids' savings?
So that's what I was responding to. You can get their account in the credit union too.
Okay.
Yeah. I would go with the credit union with the kid. Because they're more friendly.
Okay. Yeah. So something that I know you taught me when I was younger is kind of how to save. I think Jarrell had asked this question. Like what I remember you telling me is, I get a check. Like I work my job, I get a check, and before that even hits my account, stuff is gone into savings. And that was based off of kind of like my planned bills, so like things that are always there, my monthly bills, and then kind of like take a percentage of what I'm making and put it away. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not a percent, even if it's not something big, just make sure I don't see it and I don't touch it, and it will just stay in my savings. Yeah. Because that's just how it does. Savings. That's how I do it now.
Think of savings this way. Savings is paying yourself. Mm-hmm. You've worked for 2 weeks, half a month, whatever your pay cycle is, and you should, off the top of your paycheck, when you first get the job, say, I'm taking $200, and it's going to be directly, because you can split your paycheck into more than one bank account. Mm-hmm. You're going to put $200 a paycheck or $100 a paycheck. It's just going to come off the top, and then you never see it. It goes directly into a savings account. Okay. It doesn't have to be huge. It has to be something. One thing that I did when I came out of college is I got started out working at a job at $800 a month. The next year, they gave me a raise to $950. In my mind, I was living off $800, so that whole $150 went into, I increased my savings. So that automatic, I changed my direct deposit to savings to cover that additional that I got the raise. Even though it was $150 a month raise, it only came down to maybe $100 net. So I increased that net part to go directly to my savings. And then the next year, I got a raise to $1,000. So I said, I'm already living off $800 pretty good. So I kept doing that. Now, when I moved out of my parents' house, now I'm paying rent. That reduced the amount that I was actually, that increased the amount that I was going to be spending. So I changed my savings because I'm paying more out on a need, not a want, but a need.
Mm-hmm.
So I changed that, made sure that my budget was covered, but now I'm making 1,000 instead of, I was basing my savings off of the original 800. Now I'm making 1,000. I can still keep my savings the way it is, but I won't have as much spending money because I'm paying out to for rent. I only was paying $160 a month, but because I shared with two of my girlfriends from college. So, but anyway, make those rules for yourself. But your savings should always come off the top. There's other things you can do. How many people actually take their change and throw it in a drawer? And with Affinity will take your, they have a feature called Roundup. I think it's called Roundup. But whatever it's called, say if you use your debit card and the purchase is $5.79, they round it up to 6. They put 21 cents in your savings and take $6 out of off your debit card.
My current bank does that, and I have that set up, and it's always nice to go look,
and
especially
you go,
after. Yeah,
and people that use their debit card a lot, that's a great savings feature.
Mm-hmm. You never even notice it. It's just like there, and then you're like, oh wow.
Yeah, I stopped carrying change. I never keep the change. I always throw it in I have a jar in my bedroom. And so usually by the end of 3 months, every 3 months, I take it down to Affinity and throw it in the coin counter. It'd be like $50, $60 in there. But it keeps you from having to carry all that change in the bottom of your purse or pocket. So.
I mean, most people nowadays, like we said before, don't carry cash, so they probably don't carry change.
Right. But if they use their debit card, the feature of rounding up is the same, basically the same thing. You're taking the extra change and you're putting it in your savings. Instead of putting it in a jar, it just automatically goes in your savings account.
Yeah.
But I've had times when I've taken that to the bank and it's $90.
See,
dang, I don't
think
know.
of how many crumb cookies or you can get with that.
Crumble cookies.
Crumble cookies. Off topic, I am craving some crumble cookies right now.
I didn't get any this week because I was at the state fair.
Is Capital One a good company for a credit card?
Yes. It's a great company for credit cards.
Yes.
So the short answer is yes. The long answer is it's a great company for credit cards. They have several layers of credit card too. That's really neat. They have several layers of credit card. You go on their website and go into the credit cards. They'll describe the different types and layers of credit card, and that helps you pick one that matches your lifestyle too. So Capital One is one of the better companies that you can get a credit card that matches your lifestyle. Because I don't care for cash back. I don't really want that on a credit card feature. There are other people who love that on a credit card feature. They have cashback credit cards, then they have other ones that tie to the type of lifestyle issues like mine. I like to tie mine. I have my Capital One account is tied to air miles as well. My American Express and my Capital One account is tied to air miles. The Capital One, you get the air miles with any airline. My American Express, I only have Delta miles on that one. That's my my airline of choice. So I use that. But I have miles with Capital One that I can use on any airline.
So, on a broader topic, we've hit. I'm trying to rethink all of the points you said you had. We hit the needs versus want. We hit credit. Is there any one that we haven't hit?
No, because we hit them all through the conversation, not necessarily in that order.
Okay.
Because on the money management piece, we talked about your bills and your budget, how you have to make sure that your bills are covered all the time, which helps your credit score with pattern of payment and timeliness of payment. Because you're keeping that over there on the side.
So, one thing that I don't know if anyone cares, but I don't know if we talked about we've talked about how to build your credit, but how do you repair your credit? What's the best way to do that?
Okay. First rule is do not fall for someone charging you money and say they're going to fix your credit. They have made money off of you. They haven't done a darn thing. And they have to get all your personal information, like your social security number. Those are scams. And typically, once they get your personal information, you'll end up with identity theft.
What's up?
Now, you can repair your credit. The only person who can repair your credit is you. If you notice on Experian, they have this program called Experian Plus or Experian
Boost.
Go to do it. The Experian Boost program is fabulous. My screen keeps timing out.
What's Experian?
Experian is a credit bureau.
Okay.
Right. Only credit bureaus issue credit scores. You got Experian, TransUnion, and Transamerican. So the Experience Boost program will help you repair. Like they will take all your bills and they will either remind you or whatever they do, they put you in that program and they will definitely help you with your credit. You're the only one that can repair your credit though. You have to get into the discipline of the timeliness of payments, which is the number one factor, is timeliness of payments. If you got a lot of lates on there, start paying them on time. If you budget properly and you use that separation of accounts, you'll be able to pay them every month on time.
Okay.
On time. And they will prompt you when you're getting into too much debt. Like you've opened up another account, and you know that that's going to hurt your credit score. They'll prompt you on the mistakes and the flaws in your spending patterns and stuff. It's a good program. It really is. I advise people to get into it.
If I'm
it takes about 2 years. Typically, it takes 2 years for your credit score to start going up. I mean, going up significantly. It'll creep up, and then all of a sudden, it'll skyrocket.
I thought it takes about 7 to for late payments to drop off.
We're not talking about dropping off. We're talking about starting fresh and going up.
Okay.
Yeah. If they see the 2 years of corrected behavior, that's a stronger, that's more in your favor than that 10-year history. Now, if you went into bankruptcy, that's going to stay on your credit report, but the new behavior will go a long way to get what you want to get.
Okay. So I know Eric wanted something to help benefit, but he never really fully explained. You just said you got into
you know what I think
some stuff.
I suspect this. Some people, and I have done this for 1 or 2 clients, I prefer that they did it themselves, is write out a plan. But see, I think that any plan that I write out, I've interviewed you and based it on your lifestyle and what you told me about what you do and your habits and what's going on. So I always encourage people to do it themselves. Write up a plan for yourself that says, I'm going to save this amount of money. I'm going to spend this amount of money in discretionary income. I'm going to set up an account so I can pay my bills on time by putting my money out of my paycheck into my household account. And therefore, it covers my household budget. So my bills will be paid on time because I funded my bills before I go out partying or anything else. So I encourage people the only person that can help you is you. You have behavioral patterns that are weak in budgeting your money, and you're going to have to change those yourself.
Amen.
Through discipline and acknowledging that I like to live this way.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have to do that. Positions. Yeah.
So if I draft up something and say, do this, do that, do this, do that, you could just say, I don't want to do that. I can't do that. I'm not able to do that. But if you do it yourself, you hold yourself accountable for it.
Yep. There was one thing you brought up, and I've now question. I want to know. Question is, you said you should have 3 credit cards, and one of them is for just
Emergency.
one of them's emergency.
Another one's a credit card that for things you like.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was
Like
the other?
one is for bigger purchases.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you've got, say for instance, your microwave broke. Now you got to go buy a microwave, and you don't have $200 sitting around. You can go to that, and then you can pay it off, pay it timely, and that helps with your credit as well as gets you what you need. You need the microwave; it's not a want, and you can get it now when you need it versus wait 3 months. So that's the second credit, and then the third one is the debit credit card that you do for your everyday spending.
Okay. Doesn't opening multiple credit cards kind of hurt your?
It does. So you have those, but the way that you're using them is really helping because you're not incurring a lot of debt. You're using them for a specific purpose.
Yeah, if you're paying them all off and taking care of them, it shouldn't be a big issue. Yeah, if one of them's late constantly or something like that,
right?
Or you're using one to pay the other one off, that's when
you can copy that.
Yeah, that's when it goes bad.
I've seen people do that, and I question it every time. Like, wait a minute, they don't make math.
All
right. So we've reached pretty much the end of stream. We've hit all the points.
Learned a lot. I got a list of things that I'm gonna really start getting into and making decisions on. The first one is definitely looking into affinity, and I will report back on that one. We'll see.
And you know what? Advocate for yourself. Okay? If you go in there and they run your credit and say, we don't think we want to open an account for you because your credit's just advocate for yourself. You know what? I'm trying to turn things around. I've got a financial advisor who's told me that I need to do these things. I want to do this fresh start. Give me a chance. I'll open up a savings account here first. And then I'll work up to owning a credit card. Start a savings account first, and I'll work up to opening up a checking account with a credit card with this institution once I see if I can start disciplining myself. So advocate for yourself. Tell them you want that financial institution. You're advised that was a good one. You want to go with a good one. So initially, they may only let you open up a savings account, which is fine. And then you can start putting money into it, direct deposit from your paycheck, because you're going to be able to split your money into more than one bank account. Mm-hmm. And then tell them you want to start, and I'm going to manage this well for 3 months, and then I'll work my way into getting a checking account.
Amen. All right.
Advocate for yourself. Show them that you're expecting to do different than your past shows.
That's how change happens. So yeah, for sure. Thank you so much. Truly, I do appreciate this. Like I said, I was looking forward to this show so bad. It's because these are the type of tips and tricks and everything like that I need to try and put myself in. And if I'm in a better position, that means the people around me are in a better position because I'm able to help now if I need to. So that helps me a lot. So I greatly appreciate this.
Here's one more thing. We've got the new black bank in Twin Cities that took me 20 years. But we got one now. First Independence.
First Independence?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's 2 years old now, I think. You didn't see me on WCCO launching that thing?
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched the TV news in 15 years. So
I saved the clip. I'll be sending it to y'all.
I got you. But it's
we have a new black bank because our community has always had banking problems because they didn't have no money, and the bank took whatever money we did have on fees and stuff. And I was working hard
like that. Yeah.
Here, and they did First Independence. They're headquartered in Detroit. They're over on University Avenue, just west of 280. Yeah, over in Minneapolis. But they also have committed to working with our community to help us get into better spending habits, saving habits, etc.
Amen. Okay.
So think about that too. They're not as convenient, although the other banks around town, I think it's 6 other banks like U.S. Bank, TCF, U.S. Bank, TCF. What's this other one? Bank of America. You can, if you have a checking account with the Black Bank, First Independence, they will honor the ATM card for free.
So there's no fee for drawing money or anything
fees at those 6 other banks.
Okay.
Yep. I have my First Independence card. I was one of the first bankos or whatever that they opened up an account there. But anyway, they made all these. They did a lot to make it easier for people to come and open the accounts in the Black Bank. Because a lot of people were saying this is a small bank. I'm like putting money in there, moving money, but they were helping out. And the other banks in Twin Cities said we're going to help this minority bank succeed by offering this to their customers.
Amen.
Free ATM usage.
I will definitely be looking into that one too. Then that will probably be my second move. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, it's not 30.
All right. Thank you,
very educational show, for real. If y'all enjoyed the show, let us know. If you have any more questions or anything like that, let us know too. So that way we might be able to bring Jackie back on. Like I said, thank you so much for coming. Do appreciate you sharing your time and knowledge with us. Miles, you got anything you want to say?
I hope your foot recovery is going well.
It actually is. Yeah. I got one more week with the boot. I'm walking around the house without the boot, so I'm good.
Walking around without the boot. Are you supposed to be walking around without the boot, though?
I'm supposed to be increasing my activity a little by day.
Okay, good.
So when I come home from work, I walk around the house with just my house. My foot is not swollen, so I can put my house slippers on. So I walk around the house. I can still feel a little bit. If I walk, too much, I can feel a little bit of discomfort, but it feels better every day. I'm going longer and longer without being, painful.
Great. You'll be bowling in no time.
I love to hear it.
Absolutely. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for letting me share that with you, right? Because people would like to know, and I think that it's helpful. We want to make the community stronger.
Amen.
Yep. I'll be trying to make clips from this and let people see those as well.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. We'll get up with y'all.
Adios.
See you.
We might not be on next week.
Oh, because you're right.
Yeah, we might not be on next week. I gotta check some things. But see you guys. Bye.
All right.